Hey there, it's Jesse Lewis here, and I'm back with another video about fundraisers. I want to make sure that your event is absolutely successful. So let's talk about your fundraiser event timeline. Your timeline matters because there's really a big importance on the event structure. Because if you're not keeping your guests engaged throughout the evening, maintaining positive energy in the room, those things really do increase your chance of success with your fundraiser, and it prevents your program, your fundraiser program, from losing focus and being boring. You don't want those things. Instead, you want a fundraiser that is full of laughing and happy people. So the basic timeline of events for a fundraiser that I work is really simple, actually. The doors open, dinner's served, and then there's a presentation of some kind. Sometimes that's followed by entertainment like me. How this works is the doors open and there'll be other fundraising activities generally, like 50-50 sales. There'll be a silent auction table, maybe a live auction. There will be raffle prizes. There might be door prizes. There could be, we call them a Chinese auction here. But there's a lot of different ways that the fundraiser happens. And when the door opens, that's the first thing on the list that people are going to. They're going out to check those things. Then dinner is served, usually by a great local caterer. I love the local food here we have. And let me tell you that it's fantastic when you get that local caterer in that actually supports and helps that fundraiser out. It's fantastic. Then the presentation. Generally, the presentation shouldn't last more than like 15 minutes. Because I'm going to be honest, people came to raise funds. They know what they're raising funds for. So why are we boring them with a 15-minute presentation that, yes, it's showing the help that you're giving, but it's also, it can highlight things that you may not want highlighted as well. So you have to be very, very careful with those presentations. After presentations, generally what happens is entertainment, like what I do. What happens during the social time and how it sets the tone? Well, guests check in, they enjoy light refreshments, maybe they go to the bar, they get a drink, and they engage with one another, and they talk about the cause, they talk about the silent auction items, they might purchase 50-50s, and what this does is it really does create a warm and inviting atmosphere, and that's super important. Now, during the program, you have some highlights. You want to have engaging presentations and possibly have what I do, which is entertainment. I'm a comedy hypnotist. I travel across Canada doing this since 2007. And what I would suggest is the program that you have has a brief presentation, no more than 15 minutes. And in fact, I would suggest 5 minutes for a brief presentation, just about what you do and who you are helping, and then a recognition of sponsors. That's huge. If you have the silent auction table, if you've got corporate sponsors giving you money, you need to recognize them at the event. So do it right on stage. Do something stupid like having one of those great big checks and maybe a big company sponsored you and you say, hey, this company sponsored me for $3,000. You have that big check, you take the picture. It's fantastic. And then, of course, after that, you have the dynamic entertainment that actually engages people and maintains high energy. You give the people what they came for because they didn't just come to give you money. I will tell you that much. They came to help the community, to help you personally, possibly if they know you, and to have a good time. And you got to give something back when you take money from people. If you don't give something back, they're not going to come back year after year after year. That dynamic energy really does maintain high energy, and it creates more engagement among your guests. Now, there's a few fundraising activities you can do. You want to have your guests engaged for maximizing your donations. Now, that's marketing talk. I know, maximize those donations. But the truth is, if you clearly announce your closing times for the auctions, for the raffles, and you encourage guests to place their bids with enthusiasm, have a bloody countdown clock on all of your activities, and you create that exciting atmosphere, that's going to drive more participation and more donations for your event. And it's super important to do that type of thing. So remember, when you are planning your fundraiser, when you're creating your timeline, don't be disorganized. You need to make sure that you're organized and not chaotic, because that causes guests to lose interest. If people don't know what's going on, sometimes writing out an actual program is appropriate. If people don't know what's going on, you're missing opportunities to gain more money. Of course, engagement, smooth transitions between the different segments of the night, having a plan for who goes first for dinner, having smooth transitions for whoever your entertainment is, or the presentation that you're going to do about the thing that you're fundraising for. That is super important because you need attendees to remain invested and understand why they came, of course, but also have a good time. And then maximization. When you do all of these things, you maximize your ability. I need a drink, 1 second. No editing on these videos, can you tell? When this is executed effectively, a well-structured event can really maximize those results, maximize that cash flow. And what it does, if you do it right, it creates more support the following year. I've been part of some legacy fundraisers that I've been told started out with like 50 people in a town hall, and that was their event. They had 50 people, and they've been running for 10 years, and now they get 500-600 people, and they have to use not the hall in town anymore. They've got to use a hockey rink to fit all the people in for some of them, and it's crazy. So you got to think of your fundraiser not as just this year, because your hockey team ain't going anywhere, your daycare ain't going anywhere. All those things that are in your community are not going anywhere. So think of your fundraisers not as a 1-year fundraiser. Think of it as a 20-year fundraiser. Where do you want to be in 20 years, and how do you build those events over time to get there? My name is Jesse Lewis. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you need a comedy hypnotist for your fundraiser, feel free to go to the link that's in the description of this video, and I'll be glad to help you out. Have a good day.